Alright, as a send-off to my Death Stranding 2 enjoyment, I'm making a narration over this final delivery of mine for Mr. Impossible. In under 50 minutes, we must travel to every bandit camp across the continent of Australia, recover 7 precious artifacts, and return them to Mr. Impossible, who are 2 fun Aussie lads. Starting off here, I'm jumping out of the way to get to the transponder and get myself closer to the first bandit camp right there by the old government's base. I feel like this is probably the best way to go about this. I mean, you could start from the other end and work your way backwards, but I figure why not? You know, to me, thematically, this mission is supposed to be revisiting kind of all the hot spots and kind of celebrating your terraforming of the continent of Australia. You know, building roads and such, and zip lines and yada yada yada. So, you know, let's start at the beginning. We need to stop at the base actually to like get some equipment, because when you teleport, you lose all of the things on you except for like 1 gun and grenades, pretty much. So I'm going to get some grenade launchers, which I actually don't know if I use very much. I'm going to get a bunch of tranq rifles because I love to tranquilize folks, and it's a stealthy maneuver, so better to go stealthy if you can. There has always been a tri-cruiser sitting right here throughout like the entirety of this game, so I'm finally able to put it to decent use. Coming around here, you know, it's interesting that the base is so damn close to the old government space. You know, I didn't really think about it the first time you fight them, but it is like right around the corner. I think I'm going in loud here. Yeah, like fuck it. Did they already see me? Ooh, maybe not. Maybe not. I'm coming around the side. There we go. All right, we're gonna take out some blokes and do this as fast as possible. And you know what I find interesting is that it seems like the actual like enemy strength also increases as you go along to each further base in the game. Something that I didn't realize until like noticing that these guys are all kind of jobbers, but then later, like the final couple bases, they're all a bit better equipped. Not the final guy, but hitting him with a 1-2 punch, shooting this dude in the head. And then I think I'm just gonna ignore maybe the final gentleman, wherever he may be. Run over and grab the first of our chiral sculptures. Oh, never mind. There is the final guy, but I do eliminate him here because, you know, quit messing with me. All right, back onto the tri-cruiser to our second destination. Could have done it faster if I just like ran in and did a drive-by, I suppose, but you know, I want to be safe with my cargo at the very least. Here I'm checking to make sure that it's fine, and there is no cargo damage. There's a little bit of damage to the like container, but no actual damage to the cargo itself. Personally, I do prefer to, well, I don't prefer, but like everybody prefers, right, to get there with the minimum amount of damage possible. And to that effect, you know, we're supposed to do this with less than 5% damage across the entire order to get that S rank, and we need to do it in actually under 45 minutes, not the 50 minutes advertised. That's like the hard limit when you fail the mission, but if you do it in 45, then you get that S rank. It's like the time. So really, whatever the time is in the upper right, we want to do it just a little bit faster than that. Alright, so I'm going to come here, get off the trike, offload. We're at our second base. Going to get rid of the first chiral structure just so that it's, you know, it's safe. I think we also picked up some resins back there. And then we're going to go through and get the goods. Eliminate some of the more obvious guys that are in our way. You know, I don't think I really needed... Oh no, this guy was coming at me, so I had to get rid of him. You know, rather than going loud, this is a better way to just kind of infiltrate. Didn't snipe this guy well the first time, but got him on the second pass. And here I'm still thinking like, yeah, maybe I could do this quietly. You know, maybe there will be no problems, and heaven on earth, life for all, my final message. But as we approach the cargo here, it becomes kind of increasingly obvious that that won't be the case, despite the tranquilizer. There does happen to be a group of guys coming, so fuck it, we're gonna stun the whole bitch. Set off that grenade. So I think switch to the trank in the hopes of, you know, really I should have switched to the machine gun here because I'm already, like, they already know I'm here. We're gonna grab the thing, and actually, no! We grabbed the ceramics instead, so we gotta double back real quick. Grab the bad boy, jump through the window, and then get the hell out of there. You know, you'll notice that my jumps are kind of crazy. Very late in the game did I realize the power of the level 3 thruster booster, like, backpack accessory, which pretty much mitigates all chance for damage. Ooh, but you'll see there that my cargo got shot. So as I'm pulling away here, I'm thinking, fuck, did I just take damage to the cargo container? What do we got? I'm looking. Like, ooh, okay, I got 2% damage. 2% is not that bad, all considered, but we do need to be careful. I think I did a little spin around, thinking, like, do I just restart to try to get this 100%, like, no damage? I'm gonna say, fuck it, no, I'll just keep on going. It's a good start to the run anyway. But yeah, those, the level 3, like, I forget, what's it, one of the guys that lives up on the mountain will give you as their final reward the level 3 thruster backpack upgrade, whatever, stabilizer I think it's called. The other ones I'm pretty sure just allow you to, like, if you're slipping it will kind of pick you up. Here I am trying to determine my route, but rather than go through the BT area, hi kangaroo, rather than go through the BT area in the middle there, I'm just going to play it safe and take my road. So there's going to be just a decent bit of driving here as I go to the other side of the continent in order to get to the next bandit camp. But anyway, the thrusters, yeah, third time trying to explain, they are crazy. They slow your descent speed to make it so that you will never, in my experience, ever take fall damage. And that is something that is very, very, very valuable, as will come in later in the run. I did do this mission once not without it, but like I had it in the beginning and then I swapped it for more ammo. But the more ammo doesn't really matter if you're just good like that. So I decided, you know, hey, let's just keep the stabilizer for all of its many benefits. It extends the rate of descent, which is very good with slows the rate of descent, which is very, very good for, you know, moving off of high places, and at the same time, with the boost skeleton, which lets you run very, very fast, it also kind of increases the speed benefit that you get from that. And here we are, we just passed West Fort Knott. We're just going to pretty much drive all the way over to the next base, which is by the Northern Environmental Observatory. And we're just going to run through by Rainey's place and the shelter in the middle of this. You know, couple different thoughts about ways to kind of act here, right? Like I could have used my extensive zipline, you know, network in order to get over here, but I do enjoy, like, hey, I built all of these roads, and now I can use them in this final hurrah to what was a very nice gaming experience. And, you know, I did have the thought before doing this mission, like, do I put in the effort to make all the roads like level 2 roads so that I'm going like super crazy quick across them? And the answer to that is hell no. I am not about to spend another, like, I don't know, God, how long would that take? 15, 20 hours to hit every single... Well, I guess I could just have hit the ones that I'm going to use on this route, which, thinking about it, might be primarily this stretch of road. But, you know, anyway. I was disappointed to see that when you complete all the monorail system, you get, like, a fun little message that's like, thank you, Sam. Thank you so... Oh, here, I'm just plotting out my route. I'm like, where's the zip lines? Am I able to, like... what's the situation there? I have my zip line sitting up at the top of the mountain, but where's the? Is there like another one that I can use? If I like wanted to leave my bike up top and then double back or something. Oh, there's the other zip line over there. I ended up not even using that. I'm pretty sure. I just went and did something completely separate. But yeah, you get this message in your little social media service that's like, "Hey Sam, I'm so glad that you restored the monorail system across the entirety of Australia. You're the best." And when I put together the final road, I was expecting like another little, I don't know, acknowledgement of the accomplishment, but there's nothing. No flowers, no praise. It's just let it be. You know, you did it for you. Nobody was asking you to, I suppose. And honestly, like, I think the monorail is probably a bit of a bigger achievement when you think about it. Like, you can now transfer, easily move raw materials, like in this post-apocalyptic kind of world. Here I am just looking at, I'm like, what am I plotting out here? What's the situation? Because I was really thinking I was going to leave my bike up top and then zip line back and then take it all the way back down. But I ended up completely abandoning that. There I'm like, oh, there's my other zip line. Let me get off the bike and let me get going. I think I'm just like futzing with my shit here. Oh yeah, I'm getting rid of the other ceramics that I got. Which actually looks like it took, I didn't notice this. It took like 15% damage, which implies that it took some of the bullets that I took while running away. Also, here's the thruster thing. Do you see what I'm talking about? I mean, you just fucking descend straight out of the sky. It's crazy. In a game where it faults you, or rather, where it's such a focus on like being careful and being safe and not damaging anything and like being on your toes 24/7, to have some shit like that is just nuts. Here we're gonna do a little descent. Sorry, actually a bigger descent as we come around the back of the base here. And then once again, I believe I'm going to try to go in softly. But I don't believe that I find myself successful. So I'm going to take out like this guy. Yeah, and half the bandits, you'll notice that a lot of the time I may be just aiming for the body of the bandit. Here I'm like, I don't even know if he saw me. Oh god!
Did you just drop some cargo?
I'm like, Jesus Christ, no, I dropped my cargo, shit. And so I'm like, okay, what's the damage on the cargo? Where are we? So, 2% damage. Okay, 2% is not that bad. 2% I can live with, but I don't know about the other cargo. And I'm also getting shot actively, and I'm running up here in order to see what the case is. Check the cargo again. Where am I? 2%, 0%. All right, we're going, but I'm gonna offload the cargo so that I like don't need to worry about it anymore here. Obviously, they detect me now. And I'm just going to, get their asses as much as possible. I think I was going to jump off the top there, but decided against it. Let me just handle the dudes that are nearest to me and go from there. The jump, it's so, like, look at this. I could have jumped on top of there and then used it as, like, a strategic position. This bandit actually has the cargo on his back, so he's, like, kind of guy number one you want to deal with. I wanted to handle him, but as I'm getting shot by a rocket launcher, I think, God, I should probably just eliminate this dude instead. The stun bombs are honestly crazy. They're like so powerful. And with the A-Pass upgrade that makes your electric moves activate in a wider range, I mean, it's like a no-brainer. I picked up cargo, hit it, and hit him in the face with the cargo. It was unintentional, I'll admit. If I knew that I was going for that, then I would have thrown the cargo, but anyway. I'm running circles on this guy, run around. Hit him in the face. I am getting actively shot throughout all of this from all of the gentlemen who are arriving. Well, I'm taking them out one by one. They are nothing to me. They are worms beneath my feet. They are nothing compared to the power of Sam Porter Bridges as I miss all my bullets. Get to safety, Sam. I'm like, yeah. So now I'm like soon to die, but I'm gonna eat a funny little bug that lets me slow down time and keep on pushing. I looked at that trank grenade launcher that guy had and thought maybe I should pick that up because that's one of the only things that you can't like get. Oh, there, I just checked the cargo to make sure that I didn't take any damage. As a bullet actively hits it, I'm like, fuck. 3% damage. Okay, so if we add up 3% and the 2% that we have back there, we are sitting at 5% damage across 3 different items, which isn't bad at all, honestly. This guy's been a pain in my ass, so let me just take him out. From here, I think there's one more guy, yeah, manning this cannon. Goodbye. Pick up the cargo once more. And now, rather than handle any other nonsense, yeah, so here I'm adding it up. So 3, 2, so, you know, they do a weighted average, is that what it's called? Where, like, 5% damage right now out of 3 items, so it's like, essentially 5% of 300% is not bad at all, and it's certainly not hitting the, across the entire order, 5% threshold, right? So I'm just gonna get the hell out of here. Fuck this. Completely enabled by the boost skeleton making me super fast, and the jump, the thruster thing making so I can just fly, essentially. Coming over here, we are approaching, I think, my biggest innovation on the route, or the biggest thing that I think made this particularly interesting, which is, rather than what I think a lot of people would lean towards, is get a pickup off-roader and then just drive across the entire continent picking up the goods the whole way. I am opting for a different route where I am staggering my... Look at that jump. Where I'm staggering my path here. And you'll see what I mean in just a moment. So, rather than like go across to get to the next place, I'm actually going to take a little pit stop. I'm going to come up here to my zip line, if I can find it, over on the left. Currently we are about 13 and a half minutes into the run, so we've got plenty of time. Up here we are now atop the mountain, and we're going to go over to the mine. The mine is a very important place to be because it allows us to move our cargo across the nation without us having to worry about it. Honestly, it would have been faster probably if I got off the zip line and then jumped, because I have like super jumps. But it, you know, when we're talking a couple of minutes, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. A couple minutes, a couple seconds. Anyway, so we're going to run down here. I'm going to descend. I think am I going to try to do a little jump and get stuck? No. We're going to come over to here, activate the terminal, and we are going to send our precious cargo on a monorail over to the F5 distribution center, which is a place that is like kind of our last stop adjacent to Mr. Impossible, you know, the final place that we need to be. Dispatch and get that bad boy gone. And of course, at this moment, I'm thinking, Jesus, did I send it to Terminal Fort Knott instead rather than the actual one? Here we are, getting sleepy. I'm like, get up, Sam. You got more mission to do. But I will give you a tasty little beverage in order to make sure that you don't completely run out of stamina. Falling asleep here at the mine is something that will become a recurring theme. But we're now going to come over to my safe house, which I didn't actually build for this, but came very much to my I don't know, to my aid in this particular run. I don't know what the hell I'm doing here. I think I'm looking at the map, or oh no, I'm setting which item I want to keep with me through the beach jump I'm about to do. So I'm going to equip the machine gun that has more ammo in it. I could, of course, do the sniper rifle, but, you know... Oh, I was going to say, headshots in this... I'm going to come over to this transponder by the next base we want to go to. Headshots in this with the sniper rifle, as we move along, they get, like, facial armor. And so it's like 3 body shots to trank them, or 1 headshot. But I need to get through the mask first, and that will also alert them. So, you know, as we get further in, the tranquilizer / going quiet methodology is a little fraught. I'm going to summon some golden hunters here, just to kind of provide air support over on the side of the bridge there and try and eliminate folks without me having to deal with it. In the meantime, while they are like distracted by that and becoming alerted, see this guy's looking over here, he's like, what's going on? And then I think I pussyfoot around for a second. I'm like, where's my strand? Let me get my strand out. Let me accidentally pick up the cargo and then have to drop it so that I can do this and then bind him with the strand finally. Jesus. Alright, now that he's out of the way, I'm thinking, I'm gonna go in stealthy, but no, somehow some people saw me. So you know what time it is? It is remote bomb time. Blow their shit up. Detonated. I think I got all 3 of them there. That other grenade did absolutely nothing, I think. And I need to switch to my next. I think am I just gonna go full? No, I'm gonna go full machine gun here. Tear them down. Obviously, every single person knows that I'm here. And I think, you know, going loud on this mission is, for me at least, a good change of pace. Because throughout the entire rest of the game, like, I'm stealthing around. I'm being very quiet. I'm bringing, like, 3 trank pistols and then shooting people from 1,000 meters away in order to make sure that I'm, like, not detected. But, I don't know, at this point in the game, like, you have everything, and why not go loud? Why not just run in and kill their asses, you know? I got more than enough bugs in my inventory to make it so that I'm busting out the pistol here. Pop. See, the big bore handgun, I feel like, is probably slept on. It's, like, kind of crazy good. The thing is, I've very rarely used it because I'm often sneaking around. Here I am, just trying to eliminate the remainder of the dudes that are coming through while I try to get to the next piece of cargo, which is over here. And I think I get it on the first go-around. No, I don't. I pick up something else, so I gotta run back again and grab it. The climbing gloves let you pick up from a further distance, which is quite nice. And then from here, there's like some other guy somewhere. This guy who I aim to eliminate with my tiny little pistol. I get up on the box for fun and eliminate him. So the enemy base is now neutralized. And I'm thinking, oh, I don't really have an escape plan here. Ha! Let me get into the, like, the pickup off-roader that the bandits utilize. It's like the shittiest version of this vehicle because it's the one that you can just find. Let me do a quick analysis, make sure that I got the cargo. Cargo is at 0% damage, so we're looking fine. So yeah, I didn't really have anything set up. I was just going to take the pickup off-roader. And then I realized, like a godsend, and I could have set this up, but I didn't. And of course, I hit the fucking tree. Get out of the way. Like a godsend, I'm thinking, oh shit, there is a trike just sitting right here waiting for me. As God welcomes people into the kingdom of heaven. And we are off to go to our next location. So yeah, it's kind of like a staccato run that I've got here, coming from one end and moving to the middle to go to the mine, and then I'm also coming from the other end to meet back at the mine, and then I'm just going to jump to the final location, which, I don't know, I appreciate the non-linear strategy that, I don't know if it's necessary. I think that you probably can just, I don't know, get a pickup off-roader and then go all in one, but I felt like this idea or this pathway was relatively novel, and it utilizes both the extensive road system that you've created throughout the course of the game and the monorail system, which is also very useful. And I mean, I don't know, I feel like it has limited uses often. You know, I haven't completed all 400 submissions, or standard orders rather, but I have completed 200 of them. And I've also done, of course, you know, the entirety of the game. This is the final thing that I'm doing in Death Stranding 2. And, you know, the actual use of the monorail is relatively limited, except for when you're carrying, like, big orders across the continent, which you can also just do in a pickup off-roader and avoid all the bandit camps, you know. So here I'm going to get out, and I'm going to request some golden hunters onto the next bandit camp right over here. Try to get those guys that are in the car. Just like a little bit of work while I'm traversing over there. Once again, traveling on my extensive network of zip lines that I built throughout the course of the game. Many of these are mine. I think all three? No, those last two are, but I think this third one is not. Chiefly because I don't know why I would put a zip line in like the middle of the prairie like this. But anyway, that is not particularly relevant as far as what we're doing here. So yeah, because it's like you can't even get over to the pizza guy's base. Anyway, so here I'm going to drop off the crystal so that I don't get any damage to it. And I think, am I going to stop and drop off the other thing that I have, or no? I'm going to try and summon more chiral hunters, golden hunters rather, in order to, you know, just before I announce my presence, I'm like, okay, I can just get the one guy. Let me do it like all the way over here, and quite honestly, I don't know if that did anything. We're gonna move to the machine gun, and there's a gentleman who is like over there running. There's the golden hunters in the distance. Maybe they got something, maybe they didn't. But this guy is like running over here, and this is when I announced my presence. Even though he already knew that I was there, like, I don't know, there was no formal like, haha, I see you kind of moment. Here we're gonna go. This is one of those guys who like summons a bunch of copies, but just focus on the single actual real guy, and it is no probalo. We're gonna come over here, and we're gonna have extensive use of our remote stun bombs in order to get to our next cargo destination. Launch one up here, I think onto the guy's body, stun his ass badly. Come back to the machine gun. Run around. Take this jobber out. As you can see, that like mask came off. If I was still running with like a trank setup, it would be oh, this guy, he's got like the electric shield. Yeah, as you'll see, I think all the bandits from here on out have this like electric kind of force field that blocks initial bullets, which the initial guys who were in that first camp did not have. I think this camp has the most people, except for maybe the last one that we're gonna go to. So they just keep coming. I'm gonna get rid of this guy, shoot him in the face, keep on moving, and oh, what am I doing here? Oh, just changing more stun bombs. You know, alternatively, you could go with like the BT decoy bombs, which make it so that they're scared and they don't like move or do anything. But I think that honestly the stun bomb is the more effective, like guaranteed method. Rather than stick around, I am jumping off and getting the hell out of here. And thank you to the thrusters again, because it's like none of these jumps I could I make without the assistance of the backpack alteration there. Sending one last stun bomb for good luck. I don't know if I hit anything. And then we're coming over to where we left the cargo. Pick that bad boy up, get on the zip line, and then we're going to our next destination. I'm monkeying around with the zip lines for a moment there. Thank you to whoever put this zip line up here. I think it's probably one of my most used throughout the game. What's their name here? Hi-Is? Is that what it was? Anyway, thank you, Hi-Is, for doing that. This pathway that I'm taking is totally non-linear, but it is what I have set up. Obviously, it would be faster if I set up new dedicated zip lines in pursuit of this particular mission, but I'm not doing that. I already have like too many zip lines in this area as it is, quite frankly. And now we reach something that has happened to me many times, well, many times, maybe like 5 times as I'm doing this pathway from this zip line onto my own over here. No, not my own. We are entering a BT area. And as we approach the zip line, we are unable to avoid completely running through the BT here. The watcher who spots us, we're going to say, hell no, and get out of there immediately. The last thing that I need right now, especially with my precious cargo in tow, is to get into some BT ghost nonsense. So we're not doing that. Then I'm going to come up here to my next zip line, and we're going to drop our precious little cargo off at daycare for a little bit so Daddy can go and do something else with him. The ghosts have now officially de-aggroed, which felt like kind of a long time. But we're going to do a hoop and land. I mean, it's just crazy. I don't know. I would have been using it so much more in the end game if I knew the steez that it possessed. Alright, so we're going to come over here. We're going to store our precious sculptures, both of which have taken no actual damage. They've taken container damage, but no damage to the actual contents itself, and that's what we care about. I'm not going to come in here and grab one more machine gun and a bunch of sniper rifles because, you know, I am going to try to do this next part as stealthy as possible. Auto-arrange real quick to make it so that we're moving in a little bit of a better click. And running over, we just want to jump off this in order to get to our next destination. It is kind of dark, but you know, hey, that's what it's like at night, isn't it? We land right on the edge here, which honestly I thought I was going to fall off at the time, and then we're going to take another little jump, land, and we are now going to be overlooking our 6th out of 7 bandit camp, and try to sneakily get in there and grab this next sculpture. I'm going to pull out the sniper rifle, scope out just a little bit. Honestly, I think there's only like 3 or 4 dudes here. So we got the one, see his like thing came off. So I did end up shooting him in the face, which made it so that he, like, you know, successfully was immediately tranked. But that guy, I think I just got a bunch of body shots. This next dude is trying to hide from me, and I ran out of bullets because this trank sniper rifle only has 12 bullets, which is, you know, difficult to manage, which is why I bought 5 of them. Created, whatever. I'm now falling down the mountain, and I thought I was going to fall all the way, but I say, fuck it, let me just jump all the way down. There is a 4th gentleman here who noticed that his friend went down, who I did not even notice in the first place. We're going to come around and, oh, I accidentally kicked the guy on the ground rather than getting a prompt to, like, sleep this dude, so I'm just going to hit him with some CQC. And nobody was the wiser. Nobody detected me. So I'm going to come around here, grab the sculpture, going to come back around and try our best to be sneaky beaky like as we avoid the rest of the people in the camp. And we did. So we're going to run all the way up the hill, get back to the architect, and get these children off to the mine where we can send them with their friends over to the F5 Distro Center. Thinking about it now, I guess since I'm going to be revisiting there, I didn't need to send a monorail twice. I could have just stored these 6, like stored the 3 at the place, and then anyway. The porters showed up here. Some local porters are just chilling there as I'm showing up to grab my other friends here. Put them in my backpack, auto-arrange the cargo so it doesn't look as goofy, and then we are off once again. But yeah, I guess I didn't need to send, like I could have just stored them at the place and then come back for them later and send them all in like a group of 6, but whatever. We're using the hyper jump to boost over this river here and get to our zip line. This is, I think, the same zip line that we were at before, overlooking the northern observatory. I did at the last moment there make a little fucky wucky and accidentally go to the wrong zip line. There, you may wonder why there are 2 zip lines here. It's because this one here can't path to the like monorail line right there for one reason or another. So I just built a second one. That's the way that it goes. You know, when you have a lot of chiral or whatever it's called, chiral, not density. My God, bandwidth. You know, you can make stupid decisions like that. Also, I don't know if anybody noticed the, thank you to my older brother for this, coyote time with Sam a moment ago, where I like jumped a moment after I was off of the rock. It wasn't intentional, and it was not, you know, I was trying to get the max boost from like being actually on the stone, but anyway. Alright, we're gonna send our next 3 in a container to F5 East and dispatch. The moment that we do, you will notice that Sam is once again a sleepy little guy. But I say no, Sam. Norman Reedus, you must get up. Get going. I'll let you have a sip of your beverage. But you gotta keep going, brother. No time for waiting around. Is that an SCV? Got no patience for waiting around. Anyway, we're coming back here to the safe house that I built, which is once again very handy for this particular thing. And we are going to beach jump over to the F7 Distro Center. This is the closest thing to the next bandit camp. I could have made like a safe house right next to the bandit camp and put the materials that I need like right there and handled it that way, but I don't know. I think that it's good to have a healthy amount of preparation and a healthy amount of improvisation. Here we are. I'm going to make some more machine guns, make some more bombs, and importantly make a coffin board so that I am able to run around quickly. Or ride around, I suppose. Auto-arrange my cargo once again to reduce my size. And then we are on the cargo board. Do I check my map here? Like, how do I get here? No. Going back behind the distribution center to get to our next destination. There are all these stupid-ass rocks in this little in-between area, and that's the thing that pisses me off the most. Like, what am I supposed to do with that? Almost there, Sam says, which is completely true. Here, trouble nearby. I'm going to run this guy over. And so that's cool. I think very seldom possible, maybe, but didn't notice me, so that's his own fault. And this guy also does not notice me. And because it like still thinks I'm on the vehicle, I can't actually pull off the bomb. This guy notices me, but he's not like alerted yet. Now he is, and I'm gonna shoot him in the face. So that's, you know, that's an easy way to move on. This guy, I guess they didn't have all like face helmets, masks, but a lot of them do. But we're gonna keep going. I'm running up here. I don't have the box skeleton, so running uphill is kind of difficult. Busting out the stun bomb because it's like, you know, fuck it at this point. Like, there's too many people here for me to feasibly be stealthy, I think. Another guy over here. Throw another bomb right at his face. Blow it up. And here we are, just going through and, you know, eliminating all the dudes. Got his ass before he could do anything. This dude, I was like, I can't get a good angle. I'm trying to launch this bomb. I won't be able to do it with the stupid half corner that you're sitting at. So screw it. Run up, kick your ass personally. And we are at 20 minutes remaining, which is really 15 minutes if you're thinking about it the way that I am. And that's plenty of time. Gonna just eliminate all the dudes here. Get them all with my little stun bombs. This guy over here is the closest to where our cargo is, and he's just shooting my ass badly. Stun him. Another guy down here. I fall, but I take no damage because I'm a beast with my stabilizer unit. Set off the bomb there. I think there's like another dude who shows up. Yeah, he's got some moves to him, so I'm thinking, oh, I'm gonna bust out the machine gun. That stupid little jingle. See, he's got like the electromagnetic force field, but it's no match for my technique of many bullets. Then we're gonna come over here, pick up our cargo, and we haven't like really engaged with the rest of the people down below yet, which is very good for us because that's shit we don't need to do now. Making sure that the sculpture is in good health, which it is, because I was worried that maybe my stun bomb did something. We're gonna jump back down. I mean, God, it's just so powerful. This guy, he's like, he didn't even notice me. I'm right here. I don't know what he's doing. I'm thinking, like, do I CQC him? No, I'm just gonna shoot him in the face. Like, I'm not about to waste time that I don't have to. Now we're coming back to the coffin board. And we have our final pickup. So we're just gonna head back to the F5 in order to get us back to Mr. Impossible and call it there. We've more or less completed our mission so far. It's just we need to get safely to our destination. And I knew previously that this, like, there's a lot of little rocks here, so I'm going very slow. I'm actually holding down left trigger to, like, brake as much as possible. And then of course I hit a fucking rock and I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, it's only 1% damage. I'm going to go extremely slowly through the rocky area to make sure... Okay, now I'm fine. Because the last thing that I need is, like, you know, I boost into a rock and then it's like 30% damage and I'm just up shit's creek without a paddle. But that's not what happened. So we're going to come over here, run around the back, get very safely onto the road, and now that we're on the road, just fucking gun it. You know, I was sleeping on the coffin board for a little while there, but it's pretty good. Some porters jump out of the way because they're scared of my steeds, and that's just the way that it goes. Really, from here, it's like a straight shot. We're just trying to get back to the monorail system there by Terminal Fort Knott in order to get us over to the F5 and over to Mr. Impossible. I quite enjoyed this final mission. I think that it was, you know, there are two, I think, parts to strategy games, right? It's the planning and it's the execution. And I think the planning for this was nice. And I don't know if I find it interesting, my strategy here, the dual like pathways as far as taking the cargo on the monorail. I'm sure that it's designed and intentional and other people have done it. But I feel like the prevailing dialogue has been around just get a pickup off-roader and then run around the continent. As you'll see, I have suboptimal zipline placement here, and that's okay. If I really, you know, I didn't place any new ziplines for the purposes of this mission, and if I did, then there would be, you know, it would probably be faster. And of course, that's another part of the planning phase in the two-part strategy planning kind of dichotomy that I've just erected here. But either way, we have functionally 11 minutes in my mind until we need to get the cargo there, and I'm feeling pretty damn good about it. We are coming up to the final zipline, I believe, because this zipline that was created by somebody else and not myself. Otherwise, it would be in a better position, but created by somebody else. It does not interface directly with that monorail component, so I'm gonna run my little ass over here through the F8 delivery depot, which I find very interesting that it's like a named location. Obviously, it's like weird and special because it's the only thing like it that exists, and Terminal Fort Knott is like the last place, and so it's all kind of cool and interesting. But anyway, I find it neat. Alright, we are going to get on a zipline and make our triumphant return around the entirety of the mountain. Do not go to the other zipline that somebody put like right in the middle here, that one that you can see right there. Because if I did do that, then I would be wasting time, and I did that previously and it pissed me off. This is the first time that I completed this mission. The last time I went over there with like, I had much less time available, and I was really like seething at the fact that I wasted a good 30 to 45 seconds just traveling on the zip line to and fro incorrectly. Because of course that zip line didn't have enough distance to get to this one over here to let me just keep going. So anyway, We're keeping it moving. Entering the weird jellyfish BT area right there by the adventurer. I think I turned to look at the giant jellyfish. Yeah, the giant-ass jellyfish. The adventurer was the last guy that I did something for before setting out on Mr. Impossible's mission. Like, he was the last one that I had to 5-star before I felt like I wanted Mr. Impossible's to be the final thing that I did. Because it seemed, you know, like a very climactic circumstance, and I think that you may agree that it is. And the fact that that jellyfish teleports you, like, across the continent is odd and interesting. Like, the jellyfishers seem so normally inconsequential that for them to play, like, a part in the final mission for this guy who's been nothing but a pain in your ass the whole time, I don't know. It's interesting. Of course, this game leaves a lot of questions on the table with answers that will likely never be provided. Like the jellyfish themselves being a big one. Gazing down upon the ghost mech factory down there with its warm amber glow. But yeah, here we are coming around to our final destination. I really enjoyed the, you know, utilizing every little thing that was in our disposal. Of course, tools-wise, I'm using bombs, sniper rifles, and the machine gun, which, like, obviously there are so many other ways that anybody could have approached this. But when it comes to speed, I mean, I think that you're going to be hard-pressed to find like an array of items that do the same amount of functional damage and incapacitation in as speedy a manner. You know, I could have jumped on the top there of the F5 and done this a little faster, but, you know, hey, maybe next time I play this game in like 7 years. Alright, now we're running down, and you can see the little icon there indicating that our precious babies have arrived from their multiple monorail trips. I'm gonna make one floating carrier so that I can carry all the stuff rather than getting out of vehicle or some such. And there they are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think here I'm counting the damage that's on them. I think we're at like 5 or 6 damage with the 1 damage that came through on the one that's on my back. I think I'm just counting them. Yeah, 2%, 3%, and then I'm looking at my 1 for 1%. So yeah, I'm at 6% damage out of a possible 700%. So what is that? You know, 694 out of 700. We're talking less than 1% of the overall damage. So we're feeling good. As far as time is concerned, we have about 6 minutes remaining, which, you know, means we could have gone slower earlier, but I think that I'm happy with the pace we're at. This zipline and the subsequent 2 or 3 I made exclusively for the deliver beach water mission. It's like another quick mission, like express mission that you need to do from Hartman's lab over to here in like 6 minutes, maybe 6.5. And like I found it totally necessary to have this expedient pathway here. And I think it normally landed me here with decent dividends, like 30 seconds-ish remaining. I'm very proud, not of this zipline that I'm approaching, but of this next one that I'm going to visit in just a second. It's like on the tiniest little buildable area on the side of this cliff to allow you to just directly go like on the side rather than having to like go over the mountain or some such. Yeah, right there on the corner. No likes yet, which I'm kind of surprised by. I would expect at least some person to, you know, recognize me from my works. But at the same time, you need to have beaten the game by the time that you get here, and, you know, maybe it's not that big of a deal. Anyway, 10 minutes remain on the clock, but really that's 5 minutes in my brain because I do want the S rank and we have arrived back at Mr. Impossible. I do wish that it was, I don't know, maybe daytime, but what are you gonna do, huh? And here we are. I think I'm gonna shut up for a second so that the, you know, kind of finality of the moment can play by itself as we shuffle our final cargo into the slot here and let Mr. Impossible greet us with open arms.
What's up, bro? Don't tell me you actually recovered all of our shit. He did! You're an absolute legend, mate! Alright, let's inspect this cargo. This cargo is fucking flawless, mate. Oh, you're a god!
I was very surprised to see that you unlock a level 3 PCC here. Lets you build things without necessary materials, and everything else comes pre-upgraded. And there we go, reaching 5 stars. You can't see it on the recording, but this is where my...
Shit, Sam! You are the best of the best!
That's where the trophy proc.
We seriously didn't think you'd be able to complete our latest and greatest challenge, bro. Way to prove us totally wrong. You're the real Mr. Impossible!
Me?
And you bloody earned this.
Really? Me? I'm Mr. Impossible? Got a little patch that unfortunately I'll never wear. I think they're cool, but they're like, I don't know, I wish you could actually do something with
We're
them.
increasing your material allocation a little bit more.
Now displaying your current order grade.
Homo liberans. I was very happy to see that.
For the man who's conquered the greatest of our challenges, we've got a sweet present we know you're gonna love. Congrats, bruh. You earned it.
Got a little sculpture.
We've hooked you up with data for the ultimate portable chiral constructor. With this baby, you'll be able to fabricate structures that come pre-upgraded. You can plop down little bridges and safe houses fully formed just like that.
Honestly, pretty cool.
We've also given you an extra special gift just to mark this
But
occasion.
it's like,
And don't worry, bro,
it's like
this
kind of
sculpture is
useless at
perfectly
this
safe to
point.
be around, not dangerous at all. Yeah, you can use it to spruce up your room or wherever. For real though, you are one hell of a guy, Sammy. If you ever need a place to crash, our shelter is your home away from home. Yeah, just tell us if you want to stay the night.
Thank you.
I swear, we haven't had this much fun in forever. We're gonna post you a bunch more orders real soon. So if you need something to get your blood pumping, check them out and take them on. You got 2 new fans for life, Sammy.
Thank you, Mr. Impossible.
Order completed. Well done.
And that's the run. If you made it this far, you know, thank you for watching and indulging my thoughts and commentary. I do hope you'll play Death Stranding, either the first or the second or both at some point, because they're both very good games. And I'll catch you on the flip side. Thanks.